Precious Mzea Sakaleji, good afternoon and welcome to Camnet TV Midday News. The headlines. Another dead body found floating in LUSAKA'S NGWENYA Dam. Chimbakambwili challenges government to respond to Konkola copper mine allegation. And the Z Club appeals for supplementary budget towards environmental protection. Details coming to you after this. Msika is here. We have you all covered with just 150 kwacha. You can advertise every day from 17 hours to 18 hours. For a 30-second ad, get the benefit of selling your products and services on Msika. For more details, call our marketing department on +260 953 995099 +260 962 444 726 or +260 971 177 467. Email us on info@camnettvafrica.com. Terms and conditions apply. And other media news in detail. Barely 2 weeks ago, since the body of an unidentified man was discovered floating in the NGWENYA Dam, a body of another unidentified male has been discovered dead in the same dam. Due to the decomposed state of the body, an autopsy has been done on site and buried at Leopards Hill Cemetery. Details coming to you in the following report.
In the African culture, a dead body is treated with honor and dignity as it is led to its final resting place. But imagine being buried without your beloved ones to see you off or give you a befitting send-off. I'm sure it can be heartbreaking even in one's death. This is the case of an identified man who was found floating in the NGWENYA Dam in Osaka's Mississippi compound Tuesday afternoon. The man, estimated to be in his 20s, was being buried by police officers after he was found decomposed in the dam. The man was found with a rope around his neck, and the first suspicion would be that he would have been killed by unknown people. A post-mortem was conducted on site, and the body was later taken for burial at the New Leopards Hill Cemetery. On the 9th of this month, another body of an identified man was found dead in the same dam. Kalan Muchima reporting for Camnet News in Osaka.
National Democratic Congress leader National Democratic Party leader Chimbakambwili has challenged government to issue a comprehensive statement on the allegation leveled against them by Konkola Copper Mines KCM. Addressing the media Tuesday, Mr. Kambwili notes with concern that the stories that have circulated in a named tabloid in its two publications leaves much to be desired and calls for immediate action by the owner, that be. Dr. Kambwili laments that putting KCM under receivership was done to benefit a few individuals. KCM was placed under receivership in 2019 to the custodian of the company's business and assets. He says ever since the receiver took over the mines, the business at this institution has been going to political cadres affiliated to the ruling party. He says people heading this institution must step down and institute investigations, adding that the current situation is not helping the ordinary Zambian people. Meanwhile, Dr. Kambwili is disappointed in the Mine Workers Union of Zambia for failing to stand up for the atrocities happening at KCM.
When KCM was placed under receivership, I did warn the country, I did warn the miners, and I did warn the union that what was being done was not in the best interest of the country, but in the best interest of a few individuals that had the interest to siphon money from KCM. What has been happening at KCM is not anything good to talk about. Since the receiver took over the running of the mine, all the businesses at KCM have been going to non-PF cadres. In some instances where business is given to those who are not PF or those who are not cadres of PF, the payments take forever. People have been segregated that when cadres supply to the mines or when cadres do contracts to the mines, they are paid within a short period of time. When the others who are not associated with PF are paid 5-7 months from the time of putting in their invoices. Men and women. If indeed Milingolungu did what is reported in the diggers, where he went and gave a company which he bought from a person called Chilinda and gave them a contract of $1.6 million and paid in advance before even anything was supplied, is a scandal that needs the head of state to come in and correct the situation and direct that investigations be conducted, and whoever is going to be found wanting must be brought to book.
Industrial Development Corporation Group Chief Executive Officer Mateo Kalua says IDC is in the process of securing $1 billion United States dollars aimed at maximizing the vision of Zambia Railways. Mr. Kalua says this is in line with its vision to modernize Zambia Railways. Speaking when he inaugurated the new Zambia Railways board, Mr. Kalua says negotiations are currently ongoing with development financiers and are expected to conclude before the end of the year. The CEO says the funds will be invested in rolling stocks and new infrastructure such as upgrading of the rail tracks. He says this will allow trains to move at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour for freight trains and 120 kilometers for passenger trains. Mr. Kalua is confident that the new board will play a role in transforming Zambia Railways to profitably and into a transactional hub in the SADC region. Between 2012 and 2015, Zambia Railways was given $120 million to improve operations at Zambia Railways. Details in the following report.
We as IDC are committed to supporting that modernization. That's why we are currently working with the management and now with your board to secure a $1 billion investment into Zambia Railways infrastructure. This will go to locomotives, it will go to upgrading the track. We are optimistic that within a space of 3 to 4 years we should be able to see trains moving at about 80 kilometers per hour on average, which should fundamentally change the dynamics for the company. So this investment is currently under serious negotiations, financing and technical partners, and we hope to complete negotiations before the close of the year.
In other news, the Zambia Institute of Governance and Civil Liberties Advocacy Platform has appealed to the Minister of Finance, Walyangandu, to start thinking of supplementing budget towards environmental protection. Institution Chief Executive Officer Francis Chipili explains that his call comes in a wake of low budgetary allocation given to the sector in the 2021 national budget. Mr. Chipili says environmental protection is an important sector, especially with the increase in climate change and global warming activities. He adds that this sector protects water recharges area, among other things, hence in the need to have a budget that will respond to the needs of the country. The environment protection sector has seen a decline in budgetary allocation for the past years, with the recent revelation being in the 2021 national budget.
Governance and Civil Liberties Advocacy Platform, ZCLAP, we were hoping that the call for national resiliency was going to be amplified through adequate allocation of funds in the areas of environmental protection. When you look at the 7th National Development Plan, One of the things that were focused in that plan was environmental protection in the areas of watersheds, protection, water catchment areas, protection of our forestry, protection of underground water resources. And so when you look at the trend of underfunding the environmental protection, the 7th national budget ran from 2017 and 2021 is the last year of implementation. And now we've seen there's a minimal increase in the budget allocation, but we still feel the funds allocated to the agencies tasked to carry out the activities of environmental protections, the funds are not enough. So I want to appeal to the Minister of Finance to consider a supplementary budget allocation to issues of environmental protection. If we are going to emphasize on national resiliency and ensure that we have adequate national food and also protecting the vulnerable, we have to start spending more money in the areas of environmental protection. Other countries have been spending colossal sums of money in the areas of environmental protection as a way of preparing for adequate response to effects of climate change, global warming. So as a country, we cannot talk resiliency and sustainability if we continue underfunding the agencies that are tasked to ensure that the country is positioned. We need to ensure that activities that discourage the continued cutting of trees in our forestry is completely stopped. We have to ensure that we are financing activities that promote the use of sustainable sources of energy.
That news item brings us to the end of Camnet TV Midday News, but before we go, a recap of the headlines. Another dead body found floating in LUSAKA'S NGWENYA Dam. CHIKANKATA challenges government to respond to Konkola copper mines allegations. And ZIG Club appeals for supplementary budget towards environmental protection. Make a date with us this evening on our main news bulletin at 19:30 hours. Thank you for joining me. Please make sure to connect with us on social media, Camnet TV on Facebook and on Instagram, Camnet TV Africa. I am Precious Mzea Sakaleji. Thank you for watching. Good afternoon.